Hi guys, and welcome to the Friday Live thing. Back from our little break and raring to go. Hello, Tim. How was the cycling? That went down really well in the podcast, that bit there.
Yeah, exactly. Made for TV, made for radio. Cycling's been good, actually. Actually, we've had for once. Scotland has had better weather than Spain.
Yeah, I know. It's been absolutely appalling here. Hey, Tamar, how you doing?
Easter's been good. Didn't eat too much chocolate. Did too much riding.
Cool. I'm down to 101.5 kilograms, and I've done 40 consecutive days of fasting.
So you've basically nothing for 40 days.
Well, no, I've had one meal a day. I eat in a sort of 15-20 minute window in the evening, and that's it. Then I go straight back onto a fast.
That's right. Another visual for like not.
No, it's not actually. I really struggle to actually eat a lot. So I've lost basically 9-10 kilos already in 40 days. So I'm happy with that. Right. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to cover two things. We're going to cover Jay Abraham's strategy of Pre-eminence, which is epic. But we also want to talk about the ads campaigns we're both running now and both getting results from.
Yeah.
So I think we'll start with the ad campaign. And then we've got Pete to thank for this, haven't we?
Well, yeah. Pete Van Zyl, obviously, the existing or the old. I shouldn't call him old. The figurehead, if you're going to put it like that, of SMO, alongside Mark. And Pete's been doing some stuff because he's still obviously running his very successful e-commerce business. He's got multiple stores running at the moment. Concentrating mostly on apparel-based stuff. I believe he's doing some other bits and pieces as well, but mostly apparel. He was emailing out. If you're not on Pete's email list, actually try and jump on that. I don't know how you get on it. I'm sure there's a sign.
He's actually in the foundation, so dig him out and find him. He's hiding in there. Yeah,
he's hiding, spying on us.
But he's in there, so you can find him and ask him.
Anyway, we were Pete did a post and a video about Facebook's Power 5, which is a bit dramatic for Facebook. But the idea is that basically Facebook have come up with the ideal structure and setup and management of your Facebook ad campaigns, which are based upon 5 different elements. So auto advanced matching, account simplification, campaign budget optimization, automatic placements, and dynamic ads, which is the most basic way I can describe this is you feed the big black box with money and it will spit out conversions for you at the other end.
Yeah.
Facebook are trying to get you to utilize the power of its machine AI rather than
algorithm.
Algorithm. Every time I read that, it just makes me chuckle. Sorry. Dear. The idea is that Facebook thinks that its AI is more clever than you and I, which I should imagine it is, in figuring out how to spend your money, who to put your ads in front of, what types of ads to show, when to show them, all that kind of stuff. You feed it with enough data. If you feed Facebook with enough data, it will basically spit out like some conversions for you. So Pete's been running some campaigns around about the $100 a day mark. Utilizing or following the Power 5 structure and feeding Facebook with data because it's a data hungry hound. And Pete's been getting some decent results with it. And I started running some campaigns as well at similar sort of time at a slightly smaller scale. I was doing around about £20 a day campaigns. And Mark's been doing the low level $5 a day kind of campaigns. So and it's having some good results. I've had three conversions this morning from one of the campaigns that I've set up, which has made me smile. I'm quite happy with that. 3 brand new customers. It's cost me, I think, like about £1.30 per conversion for today, which I'm quite pleased with, which is about 1/10 of what I would normally want to pay. And I think Mark had a conversion last night as well from his $5 campaigns.
Yeah, so I'm running $5 cold traffic and then $5 warm traffic.
Yeah,
the $5 warm traffic, because of the way it works, it doesn't spend $5, so it's spending about $1.50, $2 a day. Yeah. So $7 a day that I'm running at the moment, and I think we've got 1 or 2 conversions every day from it,
which is cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
rather than going deep into it, there is a page on Facebook, facebook.com/business/power-5. If you actually just do a search on Google for Facebook Power 5, it will send you to the right page on Facebook.
Yeah, and if you're in SMO Pro, I've done 2 sets of videos this week. One on that and one on the Hot 7 strategy I'm testing as well.
It's a bit unnervy, to be honest with you, when you just chuck money. And this is the issue that I have. It's slightly better with Facebook compared with Google. This whole idea of chucking money into a big black box and letting Facebook or Google do all the work. I'm running a campaign at the moment, which is a smart shopping campaign on Google, which is even more of a black box. You set up the campaign, you leave all of the options wide open, the targeting wide open, you feed it 30 quid a day kind of thing, and it chucks out some conversions for you. That's not working quite as well as the Facebook one. And one of the downsides with it is that it's not really giving an awful lot of feedback in terms of what things are being clicked on, what are the placements, what are the the keywords, all these kind of things. It's really not telling me any of that, so I can't really make any judgment or optimization to it, which, if you think about it, is Google's way of going, well, we're going to optimize it for you so we can get your target cost per acquisition kind of thing. But we've been running for about 3 weeks, and we're probably spending about twice as much as we should do to acquire a customer, which I'm happy to do if I'm testing something, and it might be to do with the creatives and all that kind of stuff. And I might, create some different creatives, because you still have to do that to a certain degree. One of the other things I've seen with the Facebook Power 5 is, I don't know how they're doing it with dynamic ads, but you can actually create if you're running an e-commerce business, this works, but you can create a catalog with multiple images, multiple headlines, multiple descriptions, all that kind of thing. And Facebook will figure out what combination of what to show to who and when and all that kind of stuff. So there's an awful lot of things that you can feed Facebook or Google and let it do its thing and figure out what's the best way to get a transaction. So it's definitely worthwhile looking at, especially if you're spending a couple of if you're spending up to £1,000 a month. If you're paying like $1 a day for an ad campaign, there are different types of ad creatives and ad campaigns you can run, which is what Mark's been doing with his what's it called, the Hot 7 campaigns,
stolen from Kurt Malley.
I think the Power 5 is probably more suited to slightly bigger budgets. I think
that's part of the reason I'm actually testing it for $5, because I suspect that give it long enough, and Facebook will be able to work with low budgets on that. Yeah. Because what I've done, and Tamar's asked what's targeting what. So what I'm targeting is, I've got an article about affiliate marketing, sort of my way of doing affiliate marketing. I've targeted people who like affiliate marketing, and that's it. And then I've just got a combination of headlines and content and images, and Facebook is just churning through them. So I can actually see already which one's getting cheaper clicks, etc.
Yeah.
So that's all the Power 5 does. It just constantly changes your ads and shows different versions of your ads until it finds something that works and part of the audience that works. And then all I'm doing, I'm following up with a retargeting campaign. So normally you just if you're making sales, you just set the single cold traffic power 5. But because that's not how I do marketing, I always do marketing to warm traffic. I just retarget people who have been more than 30 seconds on those pages, and that's it.
So I've been doing it slightly differently in targeting terms. So I have, like you, I have a cold campaign and I have a warm campaign. And the cold campaign is targeting. So I've got like 4 or 5 different ad sets. So I have lookalike audiences set up. So all I've done is I've gone really super broad. I've gone 5% lookalike audience, which in the UK gives me around about 2.5 million people. I think it's about 2.1 million people per ad group that it's actually targeting. And I've left all of the other options open, other than like saying it's got to be, over 18, that kind of thing, to make sure that I'm not getting into trouble with that. But basically, I've left it completely open. And so I've got a lookalike audience based upon buyers, lookalike audience based upon buyers who've bought more than once, and I've got a lookalike audience based upon website visitors, and a lookalike audience based upon page engagers, so like Facebook page engagers, and I've set those each at 5%, and that's where I'm starting with for my cold audiences. For the warm side of things, it's essentially, as Mark says, it's a retargeting campaign. So I've got an ad set that's for page visitors, Facebook page visitors, engagers. I've got website visitors ad set, and I've got something else as well. What was the other one? Can't remember off the top of my head. But I've got another ad set. And what you do is you just give the campaign as a whole a budget. So I'm giving it, say, like 20 or 25 pounds per day, and Facebook figures it's actually going to give the most amount of money to, depending on where it thinks it can get conversions. And then the creatives, what I've done is I've taken the best creatives that I've had in the past, which are generally video ads, and I've got the best converting ones going into all of those campaigns, all of those ad sets, and that's all I'm doing with it. And so you feed it with money, and away you go. The only thing really you can change is the budget and your creatives. You don't really do any other optimization. You let Facebook do all of the other figuring out who to put the advert in front of, what time, and all that kind of stuff. You don't touch any other targeting at all. And you can go crazy broad. One of the suggestions is like you just go, well, you could get to a point where you're targeting males over 18 in America as you're targeting, and let Facebook do its thing. Certainly for a broad reach kind of offer, if you've got something that is, broad appeal, like either a weight loss offer or kids toys or whatever, a t-shirt or whatever, Facebook will figure out who's likely to buy that thing.
Cool.
Scary but exciting at the same time, because it's like it stops us from fiddling around with ad campaigns and ad sets and trying to optimize and all that kind of stuff. And I'm still running my other campaigns on the side. It's just that these are like testing like campaigns to try and figure out whether this is actually a better way of, whether it's going to create cheaper cost per acquisition, whether it's going to create better customers for us or not. And that's really what we're trying to get to.
Yeah. We'll quickly go. I'll quickly cover what I'm doing with this Hot 7 one. Once again, I've done a video in the pro group. So all I've done is I have found, basically I set up a custom audience for every single area where people can engage with me. So Instagram, Facebook, they watch videos for more than 10 seconds. If they watch more than 25% of a video, if they visit any post on any of my 4 blogs that I've got, they go into a Hot 7 audience for that. So I think there's 9 or 10 separate audiences. These are all then combined into a saved audience. Okay, so I've got two saved audiences, one that are everyone, and one that's everyone except I've excluded members of SMO, or the foundation. So what I do then, I then run 3 $1 ads on those audiences. One is driving people to the foundation, so they become members and join, which is my ultimate goal. But because I want to cover some costs, I've got the audience already, so I'm sending them. I've got 2 campaigns promoting affiliate products that I use. So I've worked it out. I mean, if I make 1 sale every 3 months, it's going to cover the campaign. So yeah. So that's it. And it's designed to run 365 days of the year, because you've got a new audience every 7 days. Well, every day you've got a new audience. And yeah.
No, that's a nice way of kind of like having. I was talking to somebody else about this the other day, actually, that we can keep on regurgitating the same people in terms of putting offers in front of the same people, the same audiences all the time. At some point, you have to go and find fresh meat.
Yeah.
And this is, it's why I run things like I run a like campaign on Facebook to grow my Facebook audience, basically to get fresh meat exposed to my stuff. If I don't, then very quickly my ads get stale, like, the new customers dry up, and the money gets tight. So you constantly need to be refreshing that audience as much as possible. So you need to be making a reach out into the big pool of people that potentially could be interested in your stuff, and keep on retargeting them and keep on coming back to them. But it's, you still need fresh meat constantly coming in.
When you think about it, let's say I write a new article tomorrow. I can then set up a $1 a day for 7 days campaign to that, and that's going to refresh that audience. I can also run $1 a day campaign to that 7-day audience to get them to read something else.
Yeah.
So basically for 7 days, you're engaging everywhere with people. Oh, so that's the idea behind it anyway. So shall we go on to Jay Abraham if no one's got any questions? Okay, we have got a quick question. Tamar's asking, how are you getting new audiences? Advertising to them. So do the old $1 a day for your traffic to a broad audience.
Yeah. So in the sense of what you were just talking about with this Hot 7 thing, it's basically, very simple $1 a day campaigns. I run a little bit more expensive. I go for £5 a day page post engagements stuff. So basically I just put out like new content, whether it's videos or a longer Facebook post or a link to an article or whatever it might be, and I'm spending £5 a day, and all I'm doing is I'm actually using quite a wide audience. I'm basically going, anybody in the UK who likes like luxury stuff, anything to do with luxury, and basically I'm just spending a very small amount of money to get, to reach a very wide audience. To reach a very wide sort of pool of people, and picking out the people who actually really engage with my stuff. And once they've engaged with my stuff, that's when the retargeting starts to work really quite nicely. And anybody who likes and comments and shares on my stuff, then I'm inviting them to, like my Facebook page and things like that. And that grows my Facebook page audience as such. I think that's what Tamar was.
Yeah, I mean, she has actually said, is it for likes? No, never advertise for likes.
I do.
What, you actually still advertise for likes?
I've been, see, it's my secret. And no, here's the reason for it.
It's shocked me in 2 days.
I know. It's like I said to Mark, there's 2 shocking things I've given Mark the last couple of days. Yesterday, I told him that I was looking to move off ClickFunnels, and the second thing is I advertise for likes, for page likes, and there's actually a really good reason for it, because what I'm trying to do, when you actually target people to like your page, you can actually segment people very, very well. So one of the campaigns that I run is a very, very simple campaign. It's got a picture of our product or a lifestyle type picture of our product. and it says something along the lines of, do you struggle to make your 5 a day every day? Like Lean Greens for tips on cravings and appetite control. That's it. So it's a 90 character kind of campaign. Now, the reasoning to do this is because I want people who struggle to get their 5 a day in. If they don't struggle to get their 5 a day in, they're not going to like Lean Greens. If they don't have any problems with cravings or appetite control, they're not going to like Lean Greens. So, and for me, that's a great way of that whole marketing as a game of elimination. I've eliminated a whole swathe of people who are a pain in the ass, to be honest with you, come onto our page and go, oh, I don't know how you struggle with getting your 5 a day kind of thing, because I've now eliminated them completely from my page. They don't even get through the gate because they go, well, I don't struggle with 5 a day, so I'm not going to like Lean Greens. So what we've done is we've actually, over the last sort of 2-3 months, we've grown our Facebook page from being 9,000 people. It's taken us 7 years to grow 9,000 people on our Facebook page. And most of them were people who liked my ex-business partner and people who were personal trainers who really are not our ideal target. So I went out and went, right, I need to get a better audience. I need to get a better group of people. So I started running a like campaign, and we've added over 10,000 more likes onto our Facebook page in the last 2 or 3 months, basically by running very, very simple like campaigns, which has then had a knock-on.
That does make a lot of sense now. You explain it like that.
But the knock-on effect is this month, April, it's taken a couple of months to get going, and we've spent a reasonable amount of money on it. But it's like we're into the 3rd month, so we're two and a bit months in of this particular process. And what it's done now is like we've now got a better audience to target. We're now converting more people from our Facebook page to become buyers, because the people who are engaging with our Facebook page, we're getting better engagement on our Facebook page for the first time ever, because the people who are engaging with the content actually like the stuff that we're posting because it actually resonates with them. So, the audience has got better, and we've started making more sales for new customers. We're probably going to get more new customers this month. So one of our key metrics is how many new customers we get each and every month. We've already blasted through the best month that we've had in the last 12 months. We've already blasted through that, and it's the 25th, 26th today. So we're going to be well ahead of all of our new customer metrics for this month.
That's cool.
Sorry,
right.
that's kind of complete tangent.
I know. So actually, we'll
Pre-eminence.
discuss this in a bit when we finish. Because that's actually that strategy sounds really good. It's not what I expected from you.
No, because when I've said it to other people, I've gone, oh yeah, I'm actually buying likes, and they go, you what? You said for like the last 10 years never buy likes. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been that guy saying don't buy likes. It's a waste of time.
What sort of budget do you use for those?
For the UK audience, about £15 a day.
Okay.
So I'm gathering probably in the region of around about. So I have a UK one and an international one. The international one runs at about £3 a day because it's like much cheaper. Yeah. And I'm getting likes for like 4 pence a like on the international one. And I'm not really too interested in that. But I want it to kind of keep the things ticking over. For the UK audience, which is the important one, £15 a day, we're adding every week around about 1,000 new likes to our page. Wow.
Okay. We will test this. We will set up an ad on the SMO page for this.
See, I've been very sort of cautious about telling people about this because I know for myself what I've said in the past for years and years and years, never, don't run a like campaign. It's a waste of time, it's a waste of money kind of thing. But you're radical, Tim. Yeah, I know I am radical. But I've been worried about telling people about it because I don't want people to suddenly go, oh, Tim's buying likes, let's go and buy likes. I don't want people to go and do that. I want to test it for myself first. So that's what the last 2.5-3 months have been all about, of trying to grow my base audience to reach a better audience. and I've focused 100% on Facebook. I've kind of forgotten about Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest and LinkedIn and all this other gubbins you can get excited by. All I've done is just focus 100% on Facebook to grow my audience there, because I know that's where the majority of our engagement is with our our ideal customer. But yeah, I will say right now, there's a complete caveat. This is still in test. I'm still testing it, but early signs, as in 2.5 months down the line, early signs are actually really strong. The idea with this was to run the test for at least 6 months before I really started to go, yeah, no, this is actually the right way to go. Before I came to any proper conclusions. But yeah, 2.5 months in, it's looking strong.
Cool.
Sorry.
There you go. Right. Look. Okay, on the podcast you can't see this. Look, I made 2 pages of notes for this today. Look, 2 full A4 pages, and we haven't even started on it yet.
I don't think we can get in. We're not going to get through very much of this within our allotted.
If we are, we're going to rush through. Right.
Alleged half hour. Go on.
Tim, what is preeminence?
Yes. What is preeminence?
What is preeminence?
Basically, it's like it's giving without like thought of getting return at some point. That's basically preeminence. It's basically putting stuff out there that you're basically, your number one focus is the end consumer, the customer, the person that you're servicing, and like your ultimate concern is for their health, well-being, success, whatever it might be, before anything and above anything whatsoever. So like about how successful you can be because of getting somebody to buy from you. So that's basically what I think is preeminence.
Yeah. So Jay Abrams got 13 rules about preeminence. So we're going to start to work our way through this. Hello, Mellow Johnny.
Mellow Johnny's. I tell you, like, if anybody can actually tell me where Mellow Johnny's is, I don't Google it because that's cheating. But
no idea.
Ah, dear.
Nice teacher, Tim. Right. So, point 1: not trying to sell, serve. So basically, rather than what 90% of marketers do, try and sell to your customers straight off, try and serve them before you even try to sell them. Give them what they need.
Ultimately, the serving part is kind of, it's having the best interest for the end result of the person that you're like essentially trying to sell to. And it's like, if you think about their end result and what they're ultimately trying to get out of, thing. So it's essentially, you sell them what they need and, what's going to get them to the end result, and give them, all the other information that they probably need, or not information, but basically advice to help them along the way. And you become a trusted advisor, essentially, rather than somebody who is just trying to get a transaction out of you as a customer. Yeah.
Morning, Heather. Heather, if you just got on here, you're gonna have to go back and watch the start because some of it's perfect for you.
Yeah.
Number 2, get preeminence by focusing on your customer needs, which we just talked about. Number 3, use empathy. Yeah. I mean, you got to have some sort of emotional attachment to your customers. You've got to know what your customers are going through or can go through before you even try to put yourself in their position. Agree?
I was actually talking to my friend Michael Christen the other day about kind of a similar kind of subject towards empathy, actually, or about empathy. And it's, worrying. My one worry with running a business is that I'm not actually bringing something to that person. I never wanted to just sell a tub of stuff, a tub of powder. I want to actually give them something that's actually genuinely going to help them. So every product that we create, it's genuinely got to bring a positive influence to them. And I want to have like empathy for the end result that they want, rather than just doing everything just to make a sale.
Yeah. Point 4, information versus advice. Give advice as information isn't conclusive. Absolutely. It's one of the reasons we moved to Mighty Networks was because there we can do the sort of rich media content. So rather than just say on Facebook, do a paragraph on Facebook where you say you should do Facebook likes, on Facebook like campaigns, you can actually write an article, show screenshots, and give all the advice and information that people need. So yeah, so you should form your whole business around here is what you should do, and here's what you should do. Here's how you do it. That should be your guidelines for creating your content.
I think one of the challenges with content, I always have an issue with content, is we end up getting drawn into creating more and more content. I have, again, another conversation with another person the other day about, he asked me, oh, should I create a new blog post? And I was like, well, actually, we've got enough content already. We don't need to create more information. We want to.
Oh, Tim's breaking up.
Actually help. I'm still here.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. It will come back in a second. Somebody's probably watching porn in the toilet.
Ah, dear. Am I still here? Can I hear you?
You're back now.
Okay. So yeah, no, you can fall into the trap of keep on creating more and more content, more and more web blog posts, more and more videos without actually helping anybody. You're just providing information for the sake of providing information. Now, what you want to be doing is like actually showing people the direction that need to go. And if that is the case of, giving them advice, moving them further down the path to ultimately give them the product that is going to help them achieve the end result, that's a better way to look at it, rather than just going, I'm just going to create yet another how-to article, because we can get drawn into doing that day in, day out, and it's a waste of time.
It's funny that for most of the week I've been working on taking my 70 to 112, well, I've got 112 pages on my blog. I'm actually trying to reduce that to about 20 to 30. So reduce the articles to maybe 10 to 15 of those 30 pages.
Yeah.
There was 76 articles when I started. I'm down to 55 now, but still got a way to go. Yeah. But right, part 5, provide focus. Obviously, get people to focus. People never focus. That's the biggest thing I find. If I was to say now to people, okay, how many of you have got courses at home that you haven't finished? I think everybody would put their hands up.
Yeah.
So the thing is, get something and focus on it.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've done with that is we've been running a Facebook group alongside our Facebook page. So part of the whole process with getting Facebook page likes is to actually get more people onto a group. But one of the things that we did was we ran a 5x5 challenge, which was 5 days of eating 5 fruit and veg every day, and getting people to focus on that thing. Which will ultimately give them the end result. Yeah.
Yeah. Be authentic.
Yeah. I have an issue with authenticity. Is that when people say, "Oh, be more authentic," and it's like, well, no, you can't be more authentic. You're either authentic or you're not. You can't. It's like just be you. Hopefully, you guys can see from the way that we present the Friday Live thing and the stuff that we talk about in like the foundation and various other things is like we're basically telling you as it is. It's like this. There's no facade here. This is who I am. If you met me in the street, you would get the same Tim Goodwin that you get on the Friday Live thing. So that's authenticity.
Yeah, I'm not a heart-centered marketer. I never will be.
No, exactly. But at the same time, we're not brash. We're not like bold and excitable and all that kind of stuff.
Can I just point out, Tim? Can I just point out, mate? I don't actually know what heart-centered marketing is.
Either. Couldn't tell you. I don't drive a Ferrari. I have a Skoda Octavia. It's really the most not exciting car in the world. It's dirty. It's got dog hair everywhere. That's authenticity. It's like, I am who I am. I'm in a small kind of office building in the middle of Scotland. What more can I say? That's
crap Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't. There's no false pretenses. And we don't. And for our customers, for our end consumers, certainly for Lean Greens, it's like, we show us as real people. We show that we're eating cake and, going out and eating steak and drinking coffee and having a glass of wine and all those kind of things. And because that's who we are, that's us being truly authentic. How many people from Facebook page are you getting to the Facebook group? It's a real slow process. That's a hard one to actually make work. What we've been trying to do is we've been trying to do a process of when somebody joins the Facebook page, one of the Facebook, I think it's one of the first posts. I don't think it's a pinned post anymore, but we were basically saying to people, come join the group. Or if we're running a next challenge, we tried to run another challenge this week, which didn't really work to engage people. But it was kind of like, oh, next week we're running a new challenge. Go join this group to take part in the challenge. And that's the way that we've been moving people across from the page to the group.
Right. Number 7, people buy for emotional benefits. Correct.
They do, and it's expressing that and showing that. It's one of the hardest things that I find with actually writing copy or writing or creating a authentic web page for our product without it being. It's quite difficult at times to because you've got to engage with that emotional side of people, what people are actually wanting. A lot of people want weight loss, for example. And it's like, well, we don't really talk about weight loss. We don't, the product's not really about weight loss, but it's a side effect of how do you present that onto a sales copy? Yeah.
Number 9. I'm going to skip number 8 because we'll come back to number 8 at the end because I think it's the most important bit.
Okay.
Fall in love with your prospect, not your product.
Big time. I've made that mistake. No, exactly. No, I've made that mistake so many times. I've seen so many other people do that, where they basically get so buried in their own product and they've got to make it absolutely perfect. They think it's the most amazing thing ever, but then nobody gives a crap. So it's like your prospect. If you start thinking from the prospect's point of view first and foremost, and actually to the exclusion of your product. So like your prospect is like the most important thing. And it doesn't matter whether they buy or not. And the success of your prospect is the most important thing. And then they will trust you enough to be their trusted advisor to then ultimately buy one of your products further down the line.
Yeah. Number 10 is a good one for you. Sell the end result.
It's the only thing.
Yeah. That's
really, it really is. There's not much else you can say about it, but it's the problem that a lot of people, with a lot of people's copy that I see, and a lot of people when they're trying to sell a product, they're going, oh, but I've got this and this and this, and it's like my product is more pure, and my product has got this and whatever, and I'm like, well, so fucking what? Does it? It might be pure, but it tastes like dog crap, and it's not going to help your end consumer, because after the first time they drink it, they're never going to take it again. So, which is utterly pointless at that point, that your product may be better than mine. Ultimately, the end result is, for my product, is that people drink it every single day of the week. They enjoy drinking it every single day of the week, and they get results because they drink it every day of the week, rather than trying it once and then hating it and never touching it again and chucking it down the sink.
Show me is more powerful than tell me.
Yeah.
That's point 11.
How can you describe that? It's kind of one of the things, actually, I think it was from that document, which I thought was quite one of the things with the Pre-eminence document we're basically basing this on, was this whole idea of let your customer, prospect, end person come to their own conclusions.
Yeah. You give them all the information to allow them to come to the conclusion that you want them to come to.
Yeah, because otherwise, if you spoon feed something, people will know that they're being spoon fed something.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, the documents, you'll find them in the SMO Pro group. There's a link that Martin posted during the week, and they're really interesting. Make it easy. Yeah, nothing more to say about that. Make it as easy as you can for your customer to achieve results and to buy your products in the end.
I was talking to somebody last night, actually, about.
You're not talking, don't you?
I do like talking to people. Yeah, I'm actually an introvert, believe it or not. And I was chatting to somebody last night about a mountain bike race that they want to enter. They've been onto the website and they can't figure out for the life of them which event to like enter or actually how to put in information anywhere. And it's like it's sales prevention department at its best. And I've been guilty as that in the past, where I've made it more difficult for people to buy my stuff. And it's like now it's just kind of like, just take away all of the barriers that people will come to their own conclusion and their own decision whether they're going to buy something or not. And then when they have, make it as easy as possible for them to do so.
Okay, here's one of the most important ones, but you probably can tell we've been leading to this. Make the customer the center of attention.
Yeah.
That's going right back to the start, and focus on your customer's needs. Your customer is everything. If you don't realize that your customer is your whole business, then you've got no reason to be in business. Mm-hmm. Right. So finally, we'll go back to
number 8.
Point 8. I'm going to have to read this out. Right. So focus is clarity. Okay. If you provide focus, then what you're trying to get across becomes clear. Clarity gives power. Power gives understanding. Understanding gives certainty. Certainty gives trust. And without trust, people won't take action. And that really is preeminence in pretty much, 6 lines. In fact, I'm going to get that printed out and put it on my wall somewhere.
It's almost like you have to overcome quite a lot of barriers with somebody before they actually will end up buying from you. It's like, it's all well and good selling a t-shirt with a funny slogan on it, which you might get like one transaction and one and done. But to truly take control of the marketplace and dominate the target audience, which sounds really aggressive and horrible, but if you to do that, you need to overcome so many of those barriers, those elements before somebody will trust you enough to buy a £20 thing or a £30 thing or a £50 thing.
People don't want to buy things.
No.
So you have to give them a really, really good reason to buy. And this strategy of preeminence really helps you establish that reason to buy and method of buying and channel to allow people to buy.
Repeat that section again, that section 8.
Focus is clarity. Shall I do in my best BBC presenter voice?
Let's go for that, yeah.
Focus, I can't do that. Focus is clarity. Clarity gives power. Power gives understanding. Understanding gives certainty. Certainty gives trust. Without trust, people won't take action. That is paraphrasing, by the way. But yeah. So
if one of the things I would suggest people do is there's a book that we've mentioned before on this Friday Live thing, which I keep on going back to this book every couple of months, every couple of years. And it's the J. Abraham book of getting all you can out of all that you've got or whatever it is. So getting everything you can out of all you've got. I think that's the name of the book. Yeah. And it is a fantastic book. It's a bit old school. It's sort of like dated in places. Doesn't really talk very much.
About mobile marketing.
Yeah, it doesn't talk about messenger bots. Let's put it that way. It's a little bit old, but the principles of everything he talks about within that book will change the way that you approach marketing. And he talks about strategy of preeminence in there to a certain degree. It was before he fully formed that whole kind of structure, but well worth looking at. But if you've not really, there's great videos. I know Andre Chaperon has based his whole business around like the strategy of preeminence. He talks about it an awful lot in a lot of the stuff that he markets and talks about. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. I think there is one of J. Abraham actually talking about the strategy of preeminence as well. So well worth checking out as much of that stuff as humanly possible, or go into SMO Foundation. Is it in Pro or is it in normal?
It's in the Pro.
Okay. There's an article in there that there's basically a download that Martin Messier basically put in there. I think he did some notes based upon the strategy of preeminence. There's a Google document in there. Plus, there's a PDF of something else which talks about 12 pillars of business as well. So, well worth checking out.
Stuff. If you would like to join our free group, don't forget to come to members.seriousonly. I've got it wrong again. Members.seriousmarketersonly.com. That's members.seriousmarketersonly.com.
There you go. BBC voice.
There you go. It is getting everything you can out of all you got. 21 ways you can outthink, outperform, and out-earn the competition.
Thank you, Donald.
Yeah, so Donald. Oh wait, Donald, how's Thailand at the moment? Hope you weren't anywhere. You had an earthquake or something there, didn't you?
Jesus. Did Donald?
No, that was the Philippines. No, that was the Philippines. Sorry, that was one of my ex-VAs because it involved in an earthquake.
Gee whiz. Yeah, no, definitely well worth checking out that book. There's if you go onto Amazon, you'll find it easily. It's a big blue cover. I think it's the old version I've got. Apparently, it's Mark told me the other week that they actually did a film. Somebody created a film for it as well.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't find anywhere.
I thought it was possibly on YouTube.
All right. Okay.
Always a good place to check. Right. So I think that just about rounds it up for the week. Anyone got any more questions?
I feel like I've kind of given people certainly with some of the Facebook stuff we talked about earlier, with the Facebook likes, I will go into more detail with it in the future. I just don't want to right now because it's not a fully formed strategy. Let's put it that way. It's like kind of a bit of a left field kind of thing that happened. Mark asked me a stupid question, which I give him an answer that he wasn't expecting. So apologies for that.
No, blame Tamar. She asked.
Oh, it was Tamar's fault.
And I assume that nobody would ever advertise for likes.
Except for me, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, there will be a fully formed kind of thing at some point.
Yeah. Don't forget, you can ask us any questions you want and we will answer them next week. You can ask us in the free group and we'll answer them straight away. Oh, here's another book recommendation, Over Deliver by Brian Kurtz.
I haven't read that one.
In Apocalypse Now. I will check out straight away, and if that is available in the SMO book club, I will add that to the book club. Details of the book club in the free group, members.seriousmarketersonly.com. Oh, actually, one more thing before I go, just to go on with what I was talking about, these Hot 7. I've started a Facebook group. I've got two Facebook pages. Sorry, I've got an Instagram page, a brand new Instagram page. I've got 2 Facebook pages. I've sort of got my Twitter account going. I thought, well, with 44,000 followers, I should do something with it. So I'm gonna my whole focus for the next quarter, or probably 2 quarters, is to create content or update existing content and get people to read it and then retarget. That is my whole business model for the next, let's say, 6 months. So if you want to ask any questions about that, feel free and we'll do it next week. But we'll see you next week. Anything else, Tim?
I think that's me. I'm exhausted now.
Yeah, don't forget, you can watch this on Facebook. You can watch it on YouTube. You can get the podcast from Stitcher and iTunes. And anywhere else I can find to put it, I will put it. Because we're going to be everywhere. Everywhere. Right, guys. Thanks a lot. Bye. Now, you got to say goodbye because there's people on the podcast listening. You can't wave. Come on.
See ya.
Bye.